And we didn't do original stuff. We did the Beatles and Dylan and Bee Gees and the Stones. We started out with Can't Always Get What You Want, you know, and she'd sing opera off key. I saw it at the reception. You know, she'd be so earnest, and you go like, oh, and you feel sorry for her and everything. And then at the end of that operatic thing, I'd push her off the stage, and I'd do my impression of Mick Jagger, which I was into impersonating Mick Jagger by then, you know. So then I got into my heavy stuff, and then she came in with perfect harmony, and so then they'd catch the joke.
She would stand on one side of the mic, and I was on the other, and I would sort of lip sync. I would move my lips, and with my ear, I would just listen to the melody, knowing the song, and automatically harmonize and fake it.
Well, the thing of me and Star was the tension between me and Star. Was the opposites of us. She was a double Gemini, hair out to here, tons of makeup, constantly, you know, jingles and jangles, beads and bangles all up and down her arms, fake ones, on purpose, you know. They were made out of plastic on purpose. She ripped her stockings on purpose. It wasn't an accident. She'd do it on purpose. She'd have these short skirts that barely covered anything. They were made out of crochet so you could see right through them, you know. She was like naked all the time. And big high heels, which she was already 5'8", and then she had these big heels on top of it. So she was this bigger than life. She was like a drag queen. She was so overboard about being femme and being out there, she was like a drag queen, except she was a girl. You know, and I was this sulky little serious. I was Dylan. I was serious. I was serious. I was Dylan. I was Mick Jagger. You know, I was John Lennon. I never related to a female singer. I'm not gay. I just never related to a female. I'm a Scorpio, you know, all this wussy shit. And then I end up with a girl that's the complete opposite of me, which is everything I always hated in a person, but she was funny. So then it became George and the Arizona Star.
George and the Arizona Star had a lyrical feel about it, which was really fun. It was kind of comical and cartoon, which is the way we were, definitely. And it suited us.
So it was always me first bill. I demanded that because she joined my group rather than the other way around. She proceeded to overshadow me more and more and more and more, but it was always my band, and she was backup. We were, here we are, we're going to be bigger than the Beatles, we're superstars, you know, we're terrible.
I remember after one of our particular shows, in the very beginning, she said, "Do you feel the energy from the crowd?" Yeah, I sure did. I mean, people were like mesmerized just watching us. And there was all this to do and energy. She said, "You don't get this with anything else except music." And I believe George. She was much older than me, and she had so much more confidence. And I was like putty. I was very unformed. I was raw. I won't say raw talent, I was raw energy. I didn't know what I was doing, and I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I didn't know where I was going. And anyone who would have met me at that time could have molded me into whatever. And it happened to be George.
We were serious. But we were funny. We were very, very, very funny. But we were serious about being funny. But we just played it by ear. We really played it by ear. It was just, as long as somebody believed in me, I could pull off anything for some weird reason, you know.
First time I ran into him was in San Francisco when Bobby Newirth and I had gone out there. after a wild night in New York.
He told us to go to Nashville. That's how we got there. He told us to go, and then we ended up going.
We knew nothing about Nashville. We were playing in San Francisco in various venues, and one night of Chris Christopherson and what was his name, Bobby Newirth, a few people that from his little scene came in and saw us.
Bobby and I'd go out and just look around the scene. And I remember that was when I first saw George and Star.
Then for the rest of the week, they were there every night, laughing, and the crowd was growing.
We didn't know who Christopherson was. He was a cute boy, but we didn't know who the fuck he was.
He planted this seed. He painted this picture. We said, Nashville, what is Nashville? And he said, oh, they'll love you. It's a really hip scene there. It's wide open. You've got to go there, and you'll just blow their minds.
I thought it was a place where that would allow them the freedom it allowed me, and that where things were happening, you know, where people were doing creative stuff.
So we thought, oh, this is a sign. It was part of the magic. Nashville, we'll go to Nashville.
And I called up Star and I says, okay, we're going to Nashville. We got to go to Nashville. Now Star says, okay. She wrote a bum check, which she got her daddy to pay for it later. So it's, you know, she didn't, you know, but at the time it was a bum check. And we went to Nashville. We just up and went.
I mean, it'd be bold for George and Star to be going anywhere. They were going to look outlandish anywhere, but in country music USA, that's pretty progressive thinking.
Since arriving here, George and Star have hitchhiked throughout the city like medieval minstrels to earn money by singing anywhere they can. Restaurants, nightclubs, on the sidewalk, wherever, for any amount the customers are willing to pay.
See the homes of country music's greatest stars.
They were completely out of place here in town, which was refreshing, you know, and shocking. I think they went for the shock value, you know.
They were the first two women to kind of blow the town apart and piss everybody off, and yet at the same time just have everybody eating out of their hands. They were something.
You couldn't avoid them. They were everywhere, right? On a nightly basis.
I tell you where I first saw them. You know where the IHOP was? They were coming around that curve, and I was somewhere on the street there, and I saw them. I said, golly, I said, that is unbelievable.
George she was probably 18 or 19 years old. She dressed like Prince Valiant. She had a Prince Valiant haircut. She wore a saber. She always wore a sword and a guitar around her neck. She did all the guitar playing.
I'd never met a human that carried a sword, so that was different.
And then Star was, you know, I don't know, blousy.